Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce our next guest on the podcast, Mr. Ali Katkhada, serving as the CIO of Depa Group since August 2016. And Mr. Katkhada boasts a remarkable career that spans over 2 decades. He is not just a CIO, but a true digital leader, and he is renowned for leveraging technology and innovations to instigate cultural change and drive business transformations. So his expertise lies in defining and executing innovative strategies aligning with the current digital vision. His focus always remains on simplifying, harmonizing, and automating business processes, ensuring efficiency and agility. So join us, we dwell into these discussions, insights on innovations, digital strategies, and the dynamic landscape of the technology in today's episodes. So at Adfar Tech Venture Podcast, Mr. Ali Katkhada, we are welcoming you and we are truly honored to have you on our podcast. And as we kick off our discussions, I would like to, ask you, sir, to give your personal introductions, your journey, and, what is going with your background and what roles you are playing till date and going to, encase in the future also. So, sir, now mic is over to you, and we are really eager to, listen for a few words about your expertise and your experience.
Hi, the pleasure is mine. I'm really glad to talk to you today. But before I start, I just want to say one disclaimer as a CIO of a public listed group. I have to say whatever I'm going to talk today is representing my personal opinion and nothing to do with my position or my role in Depa Group. Yes, I am Ali, the Group CIO of Depa. I joined Depa in 2007 as a head of the IT, head of the IT department. Before that, I was I moved from Portland, Oregon, USA, where there I was part of an IT organization developing a voting application to the federal government. As my degree, my academic study, I hold a bachelor degree in computer engineering. I have a graduate diploma in telecommunication, and I have a master degree in engineering and technology management from Portland State University of Oregon, USA. I also have many technical certificates like Oracle Certified Professional, AWS, ITIL, PMP. Last couple of years, I have was fascinated by the new technology of blockchain and what the potential of decentralized finance. So I get several certificates as DeFi, decentralized finance track, from Duke University, from US, and also I get certificate of blockchain expert. Also during my work in Europe, during the implementation of ERP in Europe, there were a new regulation coming for EU, GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation. So I have to be certified. So I get the certification of the foundation and the practitioner of data privacy regulation. So that's kind of my background. And as I said, I'm with my group as a group CIO. I was with them since 2007, so it's almost 18 years right now. The group is into the interior contracting industry. So we have manufacturing, we have a kind of construction industry, and the IT is centralized. So I'm responsible for all the IT function in all the 4 continents and in more than 22 different countries. Right? I think this is enough for introduction. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So this is like today is our pleasure to, have so much of experience, expertise, and this long journey. That's definitely going to add, immense value to our podcast. So we are truly grateful to have you today. And, it's not just for sharing the knowledge, but your remarkable career is giving more contributions to the listeners also. So adding on this, sir, on behalf of myself, I'm also very much thankful to the audience. Because of them, their generosity as well as their curiosity, we are making this podcast more, enriching with the insightful discussions of the people like you. So thank you so much for being with us, and thank you so much to the audience also. Now, sir, if you permit me, I would like to also give my introductions and what, as Adfar Tech, we are selling to the people in industry.
Sure, please.
Yeah. So, sir, myself, Sonal Shah, and I'm the host of this Adfar Tech Venture podcast show. And we are thrilled to have a guest as a CTO, CIO, and many of the technological leaders. And as a Adfar Tech Venture, we are IT and tech platform solutions, and we provide the majority of the all solutions like IT solutions, IT resources, recruitments, and this kind of IT tech podcast. And we have a vendor alliances with the 50 plus tech partners, including SAP, Oracle's, Microsoft, Pega, OutSystem, Appian, Salesforce, Cloudera, Informatica, and many such more. And we provide majority of the all key solutions. It includes ERP, application development, data, AI, ML, then blockchain, cloud managed services, UX, UI testing, and the cybersecurity. And the major skills which we have is we have 20,000 plus resources all across the globe. So we can deliver both on-site as well as offshore within the 24 hours. So that is the major skills we have. And through this Adfar Tech Venture podcast, we try to reach to more of the organizations to serve them better with their needs. And we try to, build a fostering community of tech people so they can have, each and every solutions within the hand. So this is all about myself and my organizations. And again, thankful to you to, grace your presence with us. So thankful to you, sir.
Sure. My honor.
Sir. Yeah. So now I'm just proceeding with the questions and answers we have. So as you have provided us, introductions about yourself. So can you share a brief overview of your role as a CIO and how you contribute to the company's success?
Right. I think the role of CIO is changing over the year, and I have lived through these changes. The IT in general role in any organization used to be a very marginal and very basic. Usually CIO or head of IT used to be reporting to the CFO, and the role of IT used to be mainly to support the financial application, the accounting application. However, over the years, over the last decades, there were a big revolution, and the IT, there were a big shift in the paradigm of the IT role from just being a facilitator, keeping the lights on and keeping the organization intact financially, to play more and more important role even in revenue generation and in leading the other departments. And now we can see more that CIO is part of the board and reporting to the group CEO. And in some industries, even CIO is more important than the other C-suite and play more vital role for the success of any organization. And that's all thanks to the technology revolutions. And regardless what industry and what maturity of an organization, all the organization now are depending fully on technology and on systems, applications, cloud, cybersecurity. I mean, with instead of CIOs or incompetency of CIO might cause the company to run out of business. So that's why the IT and the role of CIO became one of the most important role in any organization across the globe. And companies start putting a generous budget to the IT function, and the quality of the IT personnel is totally different than couple years ago. And I think this is a no-brainer at the moment. And also the technology, we are now facing an industrial or the fourth industrial revolution that we are living in. The whole industry is evolving very rapidly. And the nature of this revolution is totally different than the previous technology advancement. Now, the revolution is not accumulative anymore. Like usually in IT, you need to have an accumulative knowledge in order to have really a huge experience and advancement in your career. However, with all the new revolution concepts and knowledge coming in, it's really not accumulative anymore. It's revolution. And what I mean by that, we are all are fresh graduate. So I tell my team always that you should look at yourself as a fresh graduate and your legacy knowledge and legacy experience is not going to help you, because we are facing a brand new revolution or innovation coming to us. For example, when we are talking about non-relational database, we are talking about BIM modeling, like building information modeling, or service-oriented programming. All these concepts has nothing to do with traditional relational database or traditional, CAD experience. And actually, the experts are saying if you have no legacy knowledge, it's easier for you to learn these new concepts rather than being attached with the traditional knowledge, for example. So this is where we are and what we are living at the moment. And if I'm talking about now the new revolution in the IT industry, I think also we cannot really be blind among all the new things that became a buzzword right now, like AI, artificial intelligence, the blockchain, the distributed ledger. All of this are very important, and it's all comes with challenges and with opportunities. And like the cybersecurity, as I mentioned, is always because the more the business depends on technology and on IT, the more risk also will be from the cybersecurity and the data privacy perspective, right?
Right, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing, wonderful highlights of your journey in line with the technological advancement, as well as, what was earlier things and what is now actually the things going on. So now it's not like, IT people or the role of a CIO is limited to the, values adding to the general technological transformation, but it's all over the transformations of the organization. So it's very fascinating to learn about, the overall achievements, not as a professional, but personal also. So that's a wonderful, sir. So, sir, in what ways has Depa Group embraced digital transformations, and what successes or challenges have you encountered during this process? Like as you had shared, there are a lot of technological changes, lot of management changes, and a lot of mindset changes are also there. So, can you share specific examples of digital initiatives that have positively influenced the organization's operations as well as customer experience, please?
Okay, sure. I have many. I mean, there is. Now, I will try to pick really the big one. But as I said, there is many achievement and initiatives. And I mean, I have to be fair also, because I am not the one who really achieved all of this. It's an amazing team who worked with me for last 20 years or 19 years. So there are. Let me start from the beginning. We as an organization or as a corporate, what's really mattered to us is the bottom line. So technology is not the objective. It's what really matter. What really, as a corporate focus, is the bottom line of the business. So what we have always to think about technology and innovation, what really matter to us, what really makes sense that can reduce our risk or increase our revenue. And that's the foundation when you go and evaluate any initiatives or any a project of transformation, whether you're going to embrace it and you're going to really approve it, or you believe that's not going to really be successful. So there are many things as the very beginning. You as an organization, you need to simplify, harmonize, and automate the business process. So you have business process all over your business, across the departments, starting from HR to payroll to finance, to manufacturing, to billing, project costing, budgeting, inventory, dani. So you have different departments, and each department has a lot of processes. So the first and the most important thing is how to automate these processes, how to harmonize it with each other. And the solution always comes with a sort of ERP, sort of an application that make all these departments work in a standard way, and then in a harmony across these departments, talk to each other. And then when you go more mature, higher level in terms of maturity, you start talking about, I need to generate a report and then a dashboard that can give the decision maker the right figures and the right information they need on the right time, and reflecting the real situation of the business as of now. So this is all the kind of achieved by an ERP. Regardless what is the ERP, but the most challenging things when it comes to such a transformation exercise is the understanding the business process. And that's always what technical people fail to achieve, because their focus always is about technology. And nowadays, technology is very easy and very simple and very beautiful, not like early days when, it's very sophisticated and complicated. Now the technology is really user-friendly, but the problem is the person who's implementing this technology has to understand exactly what the business want to achieve, what's the business process, and why the business process is done in this way, challenging the business process, re-engineering the business process. Sometimes the business process is wrong. Most of the time, the business don't know what they want. And here is the IT leader who should really understand the business process and try to really re-engineer this business process if possible, and then try to harmonize these business processes across the different department, different business unit. If there is consolidation in group level or multiple group level, if there is a regulation and need to be also receiving a sort of reports, if there is taxation to the government, all this need to be considered before we are talking or kickstart any system or any technology. The other thing is also, I'd like to mention, other than ERP, the AI. Now, AI is another thing. I remember myself talking to one of the leaders, business leaders, and he told me, Ali, you have replaced my manual process into a very expensive system. I was able to achieve my goal, which is, we mentioned a payroll as an example. I used to pay the salaries on time using a manual process, and now you get me a very expensive, fancy ERP, which do the same job. So what is the idea behind that? And the answer was, yes, I agree. You can achieve what you want using the traditional Excel sheets or traditional legacy system, but you cannot add a layer of intelligence. You cannot add the layer of dashboarding. You cannot add a layer of trend analysis. And that's impossible in Excel sheets, right? But your system can benchmark your payroll with, multiple payroll, show you if there is any a trend happening, if there is any abnormality happening. You can build a dashboard. And I showed him some of the dashboard that really can show a value added. Where is your cost going? What is the functions that have the highest cost versus other functions? So all of this, the traditional way cannot cannot achieve, regardless how many manpower and how many muscles, what we call it, muscle and leg, you dump into these processes. You need to have advanced technologies. And so one of the initiatives, we have linked our end of the business with the front of the business. So, for example, we have done more than 3,000 completed projects, and I want to really analyze these projects, figure out what is the successful project that make money, make big profit, versus what is the project that really doesn't make a lot of money, and make the algorithm, the artificial intelligence algorithm, identify what is in common between these projects that really doesn't make a lot of profit, or the intended profit that it's supposed to make, and try to identify some risk factors. So when I'm bidding towards any new project in any country, this tool or this system can highlight to the estimation guy that, listen, this country plus this nature of contract, let's say lump sum contract, plus this nature of client, let's say government client or private client, is highly risky based on factual data from the business. So this was one of the very beautiful initiatives we have done, and it added a huge value to our business, and it make us learn from our mistake, learn from our history. Another initiatives also, I'm trying just to highlight the beautiful one.
Yes, yes, please.
It was Internet of Things to measure labor performance. As you guys know, in construction, labor is the highest cost. We are condensed labor industry. And you never know whether your labor are really performing well, or they are really lagging and sleeping and really not really on the top of the performance. So we have really used the IoT technology by placing on the helmet of the labor a chip on devices that can monitor the labor movement and the labor presence in which location, in which floor, to figure out whether this labor is really performing work or he's just hanging around. And that's created a heat map to the timekeeper who is monitoring the labor. And he, for example, can tell that this labor is a carpenter, he's supposed to be in this floor. If he's in different floor, that means he's not performing, he's just wasting time. This labor is a painter, and these floors of the building or of the hotel need the painter to be there, not on the other floors. This is also was one of the very beautiful success stories. I think, let me stop here. There are so many things. I will keep the blockchain to talk about the blockchain initiatives when we will talk about the blockchain in particular.
Sure. Sure. Actually, you had answered so many of my questions in one answer only. So it's very inspiring, to hear about the successes as well as challenges encountered along the way, in line with your journeys, as well as in line with mainly the needs. That is the more focused area. Yeah. So that's a thank you so much, sir, for providing very much insightful answer for these digital transformations. So, sir, adding on these only, if I would like to ask you that, considering various kinds of technological changes as well as trends, right? So how do you or your team or as an organization stay abreast of rapid technological changes? And how do you decide which trends to adopt or invest in? Like, as you said that, whenever there is a need for a new technology, you always research and all. But is there any specific, things which you are keeping in mind while establishing a new technology or while implementing the new trends?
Right. I mean, how the thought process always start with the hunger, with the business need. As I said, I represent a segment of CIO who's working in non-IT industry. So I am a CIO of a construction, of manufacturing, of trading industries. This is where my business belongs to. So always we started by a problem. We started by a potential optimization. We started with the hunger where there is a really business need or a business problem or potential of saving money or potential of automating a manual process. And that's how, because all these initiatives, I believe, humbly, that should be leaded or started or owned. The owner of all these initiatives should be the business, not the IT. Unless the business really have the buy-in, unless the business really have, the hunger, all these projects will be a big failure. So IT can always help the business achieve their goal, achieve their optimized way. So and how you get educated or get informed about these technology? There are so many channels, and I believe, for example, participating in the major leading conferences is always one of the very important things for any IT leader to have and to maintain. We are so lucky being in Dubai and in Saudi or in the Middle East. Almost every single day there is at least one conference or summit or activity happening, and somebody need to be humble enough, to go not only as a speaker but also as a listener, to sit and to learn from the other leaders and from other organizations. And I really love the type of conferences where the CIOs present. It's not just a sales pitch of a IT company trying to sell or trying to do a marketing, but when some CIO really sharing his real honest experience, where he's telling us what really works, what doesn't work, what really, and how he overcome the challenges, what framework, what tools, what talent he had used. These kind of conferences is really very precious and very important for any leader in technology, to join. Also, I think over the years, I developed some kind of network with all the industry leaders, whether suppliers and service providers, or also other CIOs. So we always talk to each other as a partners, and we share our failure and our success. So before taking any initiatives or before doing any new projects, always people call me and ask me, Ali, have you done this? Have you used this technology? Do you know any vendor who have done that? So this kind of it's very, very important, to learn from other people's mistakes and not to pay for every single mistake from your time and from your efforts. Also, I developed kind of a framework, whenever I join any conference or any summit, before, during, and after, because you need to really be productive. This is a working hours and working day, and you need to make sure you benefit your organization. So we have kind of we write kind of action item. What I have really learned from this conference. What is the takeaways that I have built? And after the conference, we do something called oxygen break, similar to what people do, like a smoke break. We do an oxygen break. The oxygen break in our organization is nothing but, we gathered all the manager and we share, like, for example, yesterday I attended this conference. The main topic is this. They talk about this technology. So my action item, I want to do more research about this tool. I heard about this concept. So this kind of, it's not just you attend the conference, but also you write down some of the action items, some of the takeaways out of this conference, and you share it with all your IT managers or IT directors to do their research. It's just a spark that you're not going to train them. In the conference, the objective is not to learn about the technology, but to know or to be aware that this concept is there, this tool is there, and if somebody is looking for it, then he can search and do his due diligence to know more about it. Yeah.
So it's very much appreciated, sir. Your answer is, it's not just like, finding what is a good and what is a bad, but instead you are finding the exact feedback from the user. That is the moreover important for these, technological questions. So once if you have anyone of has used it and then you are asking for the feedback, so it gives you, right approach to select the best tool which fits to your needs. So thank you so much for sharing, wonderful approach towards new collaborations also, as well as to keep yourself abreast with the technological trends. So wonderful, sir. Thank you so much. So, sir, adding on these, if you don't mind, can I ask you what are the current technologies you are using at Depa Group?
Oh, we are using almost. We have to be honest, almost everything. We use almost in all, because we have all the domains. We have users all over the world. We have to have technology to really facilitate their business and make their life easier. We have several mobile applications that we develop in-house. We have some partners that we are working with in terms of our ERP and in terms of our cybersecurity. What I'm fascinated of and excited about is the recent year we have really invested on blockchain technology and and the NFT and what potential this technology have. It's really, really amazing. I mean, we all know and heard about the marriage that have been done in the metaverse, the Decentraland. We all heard about an actor or a singer called Scott Travis, who gathered 45 million attendees on his concert on what's called Fortnite, in Fortnite metaverse. And just imagine the number, 45 million human beings. It's equivalent to the population of Saudi. So the population of Saudi or a population of Canada, if you wish, we cannot, the normal physical world cannot accommodate for such huge number of people. Yeah, somebody can argue there is some part of this number, but still we are talking about 45 million. So the metaverse carry on a lot of potential, and we in Depa have also utilized this and try to figure out. I mean, before metaverse concept, the VR and the AR, the virtual reality, we have done some initiatives on that in the boat show. We have a business for interior of private jet and super yacht, and we built using Unity gaming engine, sort of virtual reality, or sort of, at that time it was not called metaverse, and the result was amazing. The people was really on the boat show, the people were really standing in front of our booth and trying to figure out what is this and how you can see 3D our historical project. And later on, when the concept of metaverse came in, we also have developed what we call it Depa City, where we put all the hotels, all the infrastructure that we built in the past into one city as a metaverse. And the person can, walk around and see all these hotels and all these buildings that we have built in different countries, all aggregated and put into one city. And then we have built also a kind of catalog, Depa catalog, for all our furniture that our manufacturing have built. It's kind of catalog where people can really see these piece of furnitures. And then we said, why we don't really build the whole portfolio of the entire project? So it's kind of gallery where your avatar can walk around and see these projects and get informed by a bot about these projects, what is the scope of this project, what is the material used in these projects, where is this project, in which country, da-di. Just imagine if you, for example, an AI part, which used a smart contract, over Ethereum VM, and this bot, this robot, this bot can act as a salesman and work 24/7, representing your brand, representing your company, and closing deals on your behalf in the metaverse. That's some of the potential of this technology and what it can achieve. Another thing is the NFT. We have initiatives in using the non-fungible token, for authentication, to create a certification and authentication for our staff. And again, it's amazing. I mean, we have made some mistakes. We have recognized that which blockchain we have to take, whether it should be a permission, not permissionless. And so these kind of things, and we have to keep in mind the regulation and the data privacy, all of this and regulation, because still this is very new kind of initiatives, and even the compliance and the regulation is not really matured yet. For example, we talk about data residency, we're talking about, concept of data privacy. And when you put the HR data on a public blockchain, how you can really make sure that these data are properly secured, and how you can, encrypt and have a permission blockchain to keep all these data. This is some of many potential of the new blockchain opportunities that can, and I can see this is coming in the very near future. Talking about challenges, there are so many challenges, and I believe that the number one and the biggest challenge when it comes to new technology and innovation is a human being. The challenges is not anymore the technology itself. The challenges is the human being, the culture barrier, understanding the culture, understanding the agenda of the human being, understanding the resistance, what is the fear that the human being has, and addressing all these are the most important things. And if it's the number one challenge, I believe any IT leader has to focus on. Again, having the right talent also is another challenge. There are a lot of people, but really to find a good quality, competent resources is a challenge. Another challenge is, as I mentioned, the regulation. The regulation is in some of these technologies still not clear, still is not materialized and not mature yet. However, I believe Dubai and Saudi and the Gulf in general is way ahead of the US and Europe, surprisingly, when it comes to blockchain and the regulation. We know Vara and all the amazing efforts they are putting to put together a very clear framework for any new technology or initiatives on this atmosphere. I think also governance is very, very important, and it could be a big challenge to write and to put the proper governance that align with the maturity of the organization is very important. And if it's done wrong, the whole technology and the whole initiatives will be collapsing. Cybersecurity is also a challenge. I mean, all these technology is in the cloud or in premise, and it will be a big target of any bad actor. So whenever you are planning for such initiatives, you have to properly plan parallel to secure this technology, to make sure this technology is properly encrypted, and it will not really reach to the wrong hand. So I think I think these some of my humble experience challenges that I always keep in mind before, taking any investment or any initiatives when it comes to technology. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for answering my questions, as well as fascinating to know more about the various technology used. Actually, I was asking in another question that various technologies you are using, but you have answered my many of the technological questions into one answer. So that's a wonderful. And specifically, there's the challenge of a human being. That is a wonderful approach you have shared. Like, the main challenge is we do not have with this technological usage, but main challenge is we are always focusing with the human being, that whether they will accept it or not, and whether they will accept it, whether they will use it in a good manner or not. That is a, again, more difficult task to, work with. So wonderful approach, sir, you have shared. So, sir, I'm not going much into various kinds of a technology, because from your experience and the role you are playing, I heard a lot about, technologies and everything. But, sir, one more thing, if you don't mind, I would like to ask you in, like you had, shared that you are using almost all the technologies and all the kinds of trains, and, trying to be more in line with the requirements that can satisfy the needs of the organization as well as the need of the people, so you can better serve to them. So how do you ensure the budget part or the investment part in terms of the technological investment? Because again, it requires a lot of financial things. So if you don't mind, can you share just highlights of that? How would other people can also gain insight from your expertise?
I think it's a very good question. And before you take any initiatives, the CIO or the leader of the technology need to really have a vision and have a full imagination about these initiatives, what it's gonna do, what value it's gonna bring to organization, and in a commercial perspective, what benefit is the organization gonna have? What it's gonna add to the bottom line, how much saving it's gonna, and sometimes this is challenging because it's not direct. If we are talking about multi-million dollar ERP implementation, how it appear in the numbers, it might not be justified initiatives. However, if you take with the experience of the CIO and the right approach, I mean, it's always a challenge especially in front of the board members and in front of the non-IT leaders. You need to have some skills to really monetize the non-tangible dimension. Sometimes we took initiatives that's just going to minimize the risk. Like, for example, the cybersecurity initiatives. You spend hundreds of thousands and sometimes millions there is no ROI. There is no really return for this investment. For example, when we talk about redundancy, when we talk about sustainability, all the ESG initiatives, it's not really on short term. It's not having a price tag that is going to bring to the organization. However, the IT leader, with his experience, can really show in tangible way to the board members that, for example, what is the value of being hacked or not able to reach out to your purchasing or payroll application. In terms of money. If I get some IT equipment down, what is the cost of being down, or not reachable? So this is one of the techniques that the CIO usually use to really visualize the intangible initiatives. Again, some of the initiatives really related to the brand and the goodwill, and to the marketing and position of the organization among the other competitors. All of this really contribute towards increasing the sales, towards increasing the revenue at the end of the day. And I think this is all based on the CIO skills. And it comes with the experience and with, I have been over the last 20 years in a lot of challenges, trying to simplify the jargon of IT to the board member and to the other leader, and trying to focus on the business value that the business gonna get out of all these initiatives. And believe me, once you have really speak to the business people, their language, they definitely gonna support you. They definitely gonna, you're not gonna have any problem related to budget or related to the sponsoring of these IT initiatives. The problem is when the IT speaking technical jargon, and they don't have the business skill, to bridge the gap between the technical, domain and the technical needs and the business, values and the business requirements and the business vision. If you can link your initiatives with the organization vision, if you can link your initiatives with the organization values, I think you will be a winner right away with no brainer and no argument, But if I'm speaking just IT jargon, I'm talking about I need such and such US dollars to do cybersecurity, So nobody care and nobody understand what cybersecurity, initiatives means. But if I prepare and do my due diligence and bring some examples of our competitors who lost their business, who lost months of salaries and mandates because they were down, because they were hacked, then the business will definitely be supporting me, and they will be asking me to take these initiatives and increase the security in our organization and reduce the enterprise risk of our corporate.
Right, sir. So thank you so much for sharing these wonderful strategies. Mainly most organizations, and what happens is the people are, IT people are just sharing. They need to install these kind of solutions. They need to install this kind of ERPs and various terms. So the management is not able to understand what it already giving you and what is supposed to gives you. So that is the main gap the people are finding. But with your strategies and the way you are leading the leadership, that is definitely going to enhance the organization's capability in terms of technology as well as effective leadership. So that's a wonderful approach, sir. So you are leading. So, sir, adding on these, like as we know, what are the technological changes? What are the qualities as a leader you are managing? And through each and every answers, I appreciate your thoughts on essential, technological leads as well as essential qualities of the leaders. So, sir, as per your expertise, experience, and the knowledge you are, collaborating with the other tech enthusiastic, what will be the future technology that is going to boom and that is, going to be implemented in your organizations with the more hardly implementations?
I think there are several tracks of technology that's gonna boom and flourish in the very near future. First of all, there are few things which gonna continue, and I strongly believe, for example, the ERP technology, which is required for any organization to keep the lights on. Okay, the nature of ERP is changing. There is no more organization investing millions of dollars in massive monsters of ERPs. Now the nature of the ERPs are more industrial specific. There is more no code, low code, industry specific cloud for each industry. When we talk about construction, there are many leaders on that. When we talk about oil and gas, food and beverage, each industry now, they have their own kind of ERP or cloud specific, industry specific ERP. I think that's gonna flourish. Another thing is I strongly believe, again, cybersecurity is one of the IT domain is flourishing for last, 10 years maybe, and it's gonna be more and more very, very important. Privacy, data science, and the data privacy is very, very important for every organization. And I think going forward, this will increase as well. Data visualization and dashboarding, this thin layer on the top of any application that can visualize the data in real time and in a simple way. This is also one of the domain I believe existing now, and it's gonna be flourishing going forward. And I think the big new things will be the blockchain, as I said. Now, for example, in Dubai, the land department is using their own private blockchain to put all the title deed on. The car ownership is all in the blockchain. So it's not just for fun. Unfortunately, the crypto is giving a very negative reputation to this technology, but it's way bigger than just the Bitcoin and the crypto trading and speculation. It's a very huge potential. For example, the tokenized economy. I know a lot of my colleague and a lot of CIOs who's working on, for example, tokenizing the real world asset, tokenizing the infrastructure. These are things happening now. And I think in the near future, it will be the trend. It will be now, AI, when we talk about new technology, the artificial intelligence, as I said, it's a buzzword. And each and every organization is trying to figure out on the generative AI, how I can really benefit out of it, how I can take this algorithm and implement it into my organization, into my application. There is a lot of beautiful open sources that organization can use. But AI is there since long, and now it's became a kind of hot cookies and hot topic. It will continue. I believe the AI, the generative AI, and the Chat GPT have brought AI to the light, and it's gonna continue. I think going forward, more tools and more smarter application gonna come. But I believe the really revolution concept is in the decentralization, decentralized economy, decentralized ledger. The concept of distributed ledger, all these, I think the tokenization economy is one thing that's gonna really reshape the human being life, and it's happening now. And it's not like before. We need a decade for like virtualization, or we need a decade for cloud to be a mainstream. We need a decade for 5G to be a mainstream. I think these new trends, it's gonna really become a mainstream within 2 years. I'm part of several startup or initiatives that using these technologies, and they are doing an amazing innovation job that's gonna be really became a mainstream. And when this technology became a mainstream, we'll not talk about it anymore. You will not find anybody talking about 5G anymore. It's the norm. Everybody's using 5G. Nobody's talking about it. It's part of our daily life. Nobody's talking about virtualization anymore. A couple of years ago, I used to be a speaker about this technology. But now everybody, all data center have virtualization. So it's not something we need to talk about it. It's part of our daily life. And I think very soon this kind of, AI and, metaverse and tokenization economy will be part of our daily life. And we're not going to talk about it as a buzzword anymore.
Yes, exactly, sir. Thank you so much for, sharing your insights into what will be the future and what is exactly the, needs for the future. That is the main terms we should use it. So thank you so much, sir. And sir, last but not the least, you are not only CIO or CTOs or CEOs, but I would say you are really a great leader. So being the leader, sir, I know what you are right now. Yes, but what qualities or what are the skills that you find in a people that is necessary for the organization, that I also like to explore with your words, because the expertise you have, the qualities of the leaders you have, what are the skills that you requires from your team, and how do you manage the team with such a extensive technological, trains and the people who are managing such a high level of technology?
Oh, that's an amazing question. And actually, it's not just my team, even my partners and my the people that I work with, and the suppliers and the technology providers. I mean, it's very, very important to have the right people in the first place. At the end of the day, I tell my CEO, I don't have a good people. I have excellent people. Good people cannot survive uh, in such highly competent industry and domain. The IT is very, very challenging. You have to keep yourself up to date. You have to be humble enough to say I don't know, and to always sit with the people who have real hands-on, and to learn from them. You have always to spare some time to read about the new trends and new technology that's creeping and growing in there. Otherwise, you'll be out of the game. It's like I think every 6 months, the whole landscape of technology is changing. What is really a norm and basic today might not be here tomorrow. Now nobody's talking about relational database. Now everybody's talking about non-relational database. If we're talking about object-oriented programming, it's gone. We are talking about so many new technology that's a couple of years what doesn't exist. The IT, as I said, also you have to have a proper channel with the industry, with the service providers, with the technology companies, the big brand. Always you have to read and attend their activities, their conferences. You have to always be humble enough to sit and learn and listen. No matter how old you are and no matter how many years of experience, that, as I said, that doesn't matter anymore. We are all fresh graduate when it comes to a new technology or a new innovation, because it's revolution. It's not accumulative anymore. It's not built up previous technology. It's a new concepts coming to us. And I think this is very important, to keep yourself. What happened in the past doesn't matter. What you achieve in the past is not counted anymore. You have always to keep yourself, if you choose to be in the IT industry. That's unfortunately is the nature of the IT. And I think the people who work in IT enjoying this, it's their passion, it's their their adrenaline, sort of. Otherwise, you cannot really survive in such very competent industry. And as I said, if you check, all countries are lacking of talent in terms of technology. All countries are looking to welcome any new talent who has the for example a strong technical background, but they are rare. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So yeah, that's a wonderful. So thank you so much for sharing insights into this. The needs of a really manpower, and that is a manpower not only to just contributing to the organization, but real contribution in terms of sharing their own values and wealth of experience that in line with the needs. So, sir, thank you so much. So, sir, as we conclude our today's episodes, and before we wrap up our today's discussions, I wanted to give you not just only thank you, but my deepest gratitude from myself as well as from the Adfar Tech venture for gracing our podcast with so much of valuable insights and expertise. Your wealth of knowledge coupled with the wisdoms you have shared, and with each and every wisdoms, not only just a wisdom but real stories, that is definitely going to enrich our audience with a lot of experience. So on behalf of Adfar Tech venture and myself, thank you so much, and we are really happy to have you today on our podcast. And definitely your contributions made this episode truly exceptional. And we definitely look forward to future opportunities to engage in the meaningful conversations. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
And sir, yeah. So, sir, before we say goodbye to each other, I would also like to thank you, my audience. Dear audience, thank you for tuning into this enlightening discussions with Mr. Ali Katkhada. And if you enjoyed our conversations and want more insights into this dynamic world of technology, innovations, and leaderships, I would like to invite you to subscribe our Adfar Tech Venture podcast on our YouTube channels and support us and contribute to the growth of our community. And lastly, once again, sir, a big thank you to you for sharing your expertise and wisdom with us. And we appreciate your time and looking forward to staying connected. So thank you so much, sir.
My honor. My honor. Thank you.